You never know who may be listening to you. Hello, all. It's Two Legs. It's the live edition of Two Legs. It's Tom Hunyadi. It's Andy Nichols. And we're back for another ranking the tracks. It's volume 12. It is
a tug of war.
It is a tug of war. Get it? Anyways.
You got to get it.
You got to get it. Yeah. Anyways. So
you got to get it, and you got to get it good.
So what are we doing? What's that we're doing tonight? It's Tug of War. We're gonna rank the tracks for Tug of War. So give it a second here and see.
Let's fix our little chat issue here. There.
Yeah. Okay.
I got to switch it to live now. That's annoying. But we're here. We're good.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Here we are. Where are we?
So what's going on today, brother?
Not much, man. Just continuing the big dig out here. Here in the Northeast, but back's a little sore, but we're surviving.
Yeah. Okay.
We're surviving, and really looking forward to this one.
Yes.
I swear, every time we go live, that freaking phone of yours goes off.
It's nonstop. It's nonstop, man. This phone is always making noises.
Oliver says, "Glad you're not dressed up like robbers."
Very good. Very good.
Hi, Susan.
Susan.
And Bill and Hudson.
Hello, Hudson, Bill.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for hopping on our usual time. Adam's there. Hi, Adam.
Hey, Adam.
Shadow Productions. Hello, Shadow. Only the Shadow knows. That's an in-joke between me and him.
Okay.
Yeah, just we're here for volume 12.
We're volume 12. Yeah,
volume 12 records already we're up to. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. This is 11 really, just 12 shows.
Well, 12, but even yeah.
So
yeah.
But so I showed this the other day. Happy to have the Japanese McCartney 3. So the collection is continuing. There just is no stopping the McCartney 3 machine. Got that. I do have something I'm going to open up. Open her up. This is from the McCartney website, and less than 10 days to get this. Isn't that great?
Too bad they couldn't do that with the vinyl.
Exactly. So really cool to have this. It was time to get a new McCartney T-shirt. So here we go. We got the.
Let's see now. Does it have the back?
No.
Come on.
What? It's good enough just like this.
Well, then
this is all you need. You know what I mean?
Life is a bowl of cherries.
It is. You got that right, Forrest.
Yeah.
But
hi, Steve. Steve Lawler says hi.
Hey.
Yep. Hudson says McCartney sings too much rain. I prefer too much snow.
I like that.
Oliver says was surprised when he re-listened to Tug of War. There were some tracks that he had mixed feelings. Well,
okay,
we're here to talk about him tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Hudson loves your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
And so does Adam.
Yeah,
and Susan.
Great. Just show this baby one more time. I like it because it's the full length of the shirt,
which is nice, and it's got the nice little title in the upper right hand corner, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, so
$30, $40.
Yeah, 30. Yeah, but it looks like it's a true extra large. So happy about that. We'll see what happens when we wash it.
Don't put it in a dryer.
So maybe in a couple weeks I'll get a Ram T-shirt.
That one looks pretty dope too. The all yellow one where it just says Ram.
Yes.
I'm gonna grab that one too. We should.
Okay.
Maybe we didn't buy all these up and wear them for a ranking.
Maybe we'll order it on the same day. See who gets theirs first.
Maybe we'll see. Yeah, but that's a pretty cool shirt there, Thomas.
Yeah, I like it. Almost got the Zippo, the Flaming Pie Zippo, but I'll save that for another time.
For what? Well, you got enough Flaming Pie stuff.
You can never have enough Flaming Pie stuff.
I suppose not.
Anyway, so we're ranking Tug of War today, and this album. This is like the top 5 album of McCartney's career.
Easily.
it's always in everybody. It's generally in everybody's top 5 of his career. I love it. I don't think it's a perfect record. There's some misses on this album. You know what I mean? But the strong stuff is strong. Yeah, even the good stuff is good. But you know, like I said, a couple wink links here, if you will.
And there's a couple.
Yeah.
But there's a couple, and I have to say though, before we get started, and for people like, well, how do we rank this other track better? For me personally, like, I love the whole album. I mean, there's some tracks that we like better than others, but as a whole,
right?
Like, you know, I don't skip tracks on this record. Right. I don't think Tom does either. I don't know.
No. I mean, I don't skip anything on this one.
No, but the whole album, start to finish, with the exception of one track, which is going to be our number 12. It's good. I mean, obviously there is some stuff that there are one or two songs that kind of change the flow of the record.
Oh, absolutely.
Which I'm sure that Tom would agree with, and some of our fans out there said the same thing. And because it kind of messes the overall feel
of the record. Absolutely agree with that. Absolutely.
You know, so but I think that's generally how we both, and we'll see. 12 tracks. I'm very curious. We're not going to have the same, but I'm sure we'll have some of the higher ones pretty close.
Oh, pretty close. Yeah, exactly.
But this is like the gold standard. If you were going to introduce solo McCartney to somebody, you couldn't go wrong with starting with this one and saying.
Starting with this one, yeah. I mean, I could agree with that. You know, here's a good introduction to McCartney. Whether or not you like knowing their taste of music, if they like something a little heavier, maybe you would go in a different direction. But but I do think that this is kind of in a way a Beatle-y record, you know, because you do have that George Martin connection, you do have the Ringo connection, you know, the Emmerich connection, you know. So I do feel like there's some songs on here that do feel a little
Abbey Road-ish.
Beatle-y, you know. You know, For No One, you know, I mean, kind of that stuff, you know, because there's a lot of orchestration
and brass,
you know, on this album. So, but yeah, it's phenomenal record, absolutely.
Did you buy this? Were you a fan when this album first came out, or you weren't a fan yet?
Well, exactly. But see, okay, here's the thing. You know, I remember watching the Take It Away video.
That was your right.
That was my introduction, and it was a beautiful. But it didn't make me run out and get the album. I mean, I'm only
7 or 8.
8, 9 years old at that time. So there was really no, go out and get this album really. You
weren't at that album buying age, I suppose.
Exactly. Plus my world was still all Star Wars at that point in time in my life, you know. So
rightly so.
Yeah, well, but then when I did finally get this album, it was just a classic from the get-go. You know what I mean? So
so I believe you kick us off this week.
Yes, I do. And you know, it is what it is. I mean,
it is. We weren't going to rank this because it has its own track.
Yes,
we have to.
Yeah, you have to, and it is Be What You See Link. You know, it's not really much to it. I mean, it's a nice little piece. It kind of has that, you know, Take Me Back, you know, kind of thing going into, you know, on the White Album.
Yeah,
Take Me Back a little bit, and then he goes right into Dress Me Up as a Robber. You know, so I kind of dig it for that. But it's like if I do skip something, it would be this.
It would be this, but it's only 30 seconds too.
Right. And I do kind of like the vocal, you know, how the vocals are on this. But other than that, it's just there's really no purpose for it. I'm sure he just had this little piece and he wanted to put it. He really liked it and he wanted to put it on the album. You know, that's all I can really.
As a link,
Yeah, exactly.
As a linking piece, you know. But it's Tom's 12, it's my 12. I think it's pretty much everybody's 12. I think for the most part that we saw in our chats today on social media when people were commenting and putting their own rankings, I think just about everybody had that as their 12 as well.
Just about 12 or 11, yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. So what's your 11, partner?
Okay. You know, I feel bad for this because this person is such a you know, an icon, you know, especially from, you know, 50s and 60s, but it's Get It.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're gonna rank Carl below Stevie.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just a McCartney song. I mean, I would have thought it'd been really cool if, if it could have been a true collaboration, kind of like Ebony and Ivory. If that could have been a true collaboration. But I'll tell you what, what I like a lot better is the My Old Friend.
My Old Friend.
Which Carl Perkins wrote the day before he left, and they recorded it
Yeah.
there. And Paul contributes to that song as well, which I think is just a 10 times better song.
Imagine if that song made this record.
Oh, and it could have. It could have. They recorded it in 81, I believe.
Right, but then there's that great video of them playing it together in the 90s.
Oh, isn't that great?
Oh, that's a great video.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also another YouTube clip where he's talking about the song. And then the phone rings and it's Paul McCartney.
And it's him. And he's like, he's on the phone now. And then he gets up, right? And he goes to get it.
Right.
Yeah. I had a feeling probably a lot of people when they're ranked. I mean, you got to think of all the tracks on this album.
Right. And see, this is one of those two songs. One for me, like you were saying, that kind of ruins the flow of the album. This is one of the two songs for me that kind of just maybe doesn't fit the album. But I don't skip it. I don't hate it.
No, but okay. Don't feel guilty. Hey Bulldog says, don't feel guilty about any of your choices, Tom. Be what you see. Okay.
There you
go. My number 11 is one of the Stevie songs.
Okay.
That's What You're Doing. What's that you're doing?
Yeah.
It's got a great jam in it.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on a little bit too long. Again, as I prefaced before we started, I won't skip this track at all. I love the track, but I just do. You've got Tug of War, Take It Away, Somebody Who Cares, and then it's like, whoa, we're going to this like synth funk jam thing, and it just goes on a little bit too long.
Yeah, well, it's 6:22. It does go on too long.
It's a little bit on the long side, and I get it.
You're in wildlife territory there, with,
and
6 minute plus.
I get it. It evolved out of from a jam after Stevie finally got to Montserrat. As we know, if you read the story in the archive book, Paul was waiting for Stevie to show up, and he finally did. And this kind of evolved after Ebony and Ivory. Great vocal work from Paul on it,
Yeah.
And again, it's a great song, but in the context of what the album Tug of War is,
right.
I don't think it flows as well. And that's why it's my number 11.
Okay.
You're up, partner.
All right, number 10, top 10. Yeah. Again, don't hate the song. And I just wish this was more of a real collaboration. And it's Ebony and Ivory. I just like the other stuff better.
Sure.
Musically, it's cheesy. To me, I think it could have been better musically. I think the video does. I mean, videos really don't matter. Should judge a song or not,
right?
No,
it's two different mediums.
Exactly. And I kind of like it with just Paul singing it.
The solo version.
Yeah, the solo version, which we got on the archive release.
Yeah.
And a nice sentiment, nice. Obviously we want harmony between everybody, and but for me it's just always kind of bland.
It's just for you. It's bland.
It's bland. Yeah, for me it's just bland. I guess the vocals are nice. I mean, I will say one thing. I think the vocals on this album are some of Paul's best vocals.
You know, like the production value. You know, like the production value of the song.
No, not really. No, it's. I mean, to me, it's just again, it's just kind of bland.
Let me catch up on the comments here. Yeah. They're flying in here now.
Okay.
What's that you're doing? McCartney sounds bland on that. Marcus Thompson, welcome. Says the My Old Friend connection with Lennon's pretty heartbreaking. Agreed.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, this song is always on every hits compilation. Yeah. Serge said the solo version he agrees with you is much better.
Yeah, I think so.
Agrees with you. Bill Leary says he remembers seeing the video before MTV on shows like Fridays on ABC. Friday night videos, which was on NBC. Yeah. Hudson has it, Ebony and Ivory at 10, and Susan has it at 5. Yeah, and a lot of people I was talking today with friends and people fans of the show, and the kind of thing with the overwhelming feeling with this song was great sentiment, not a great song.
Right. And a lot of people use the word embarrassing. I don't think it's
No,
embarrassing
not embarrassing.
myself. However, again, I think it's just weak in some places.
Maybe not comparing the video and stuff, and I have it ranked a little bit higher. The video is great because the video kind of takes another page out of the coming up bit where
Right.
you've got Stevie and Paul,
right, on the keyboards,
kind of 2 or 3 times
Right.
over again. So
right.
of course, that was Keith McMillan, who produced all those early videos doing that. So the video, I mean, it's one, as somebody who grew up in the early 80s, it was I remember this video a lot.
Yeah.
Seeing it as Tom does
Oh,
too.
yeah.
He's a little bit older than me, but I've never gotten on the whole it's cheesy, it's corny. I like the sentiment. I said, give me a little extra cheese on it. I like it. I do. I like this song. I do.
Fair enough.
So that was your 10, Tom?
That was my 10. Yeah.
All right. So so that's number 10 for Tom. Right. Number 10 for me is Get It, which was Tom's 11. I song that I actually liked a lot of. I used to skip it a lot when I was younger. First of all, I didn't even know who was singing on it. I was like, who is this guy with this like country like type voice?
Right.
Like so out of place on this record. I'm like, not really into this one. But I've liked it as I've gotten older. But to Tom's point, I agree with him. It messes with the flow of the record overall. Right. The record has, just George Martin, Beatles production value stamped over all of this. And you've got Get It. And then you've got like, What's That You're Doing? And a couple of these kind of other tracks that kind of just take it out of its the theme of the album.
Maybe off the track for a minute. Yeah.
Just a little bit. And Get It, that's what Get It is for me. Again, I don't skip it, but it is my number 10. And I like the laughing at the end as it kind of takes us to that little Be What You See.
Right.
Serge was at the 89 show in LA when Stevie sang it with Paul.
Serge, lucky you.
Man. Tom Brennan also prefers Paul's demo of Ebony and Ivory. Yeah. It's slow, but pretty. Yeah, the demo is great as well. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so that was number 9. That was number 10 for me. 10, number 9 for you, brother.
9 for me. Okay, like this a little bit more than Ebony and Ivory. This is What's That You're Doing for me is number 9. A little bit more interesting than Ebony and Ivory, and I listen to the song and I'm thinking, man, why couldn't they have done something like this on McCartney 2? You know what I mean? Why couldn't they do a cool collaboration like this on McCartney 2? Because Stevie's totally into that kind of thing.
He loves all that stuff.
The drum machine. I mean, the crazy synths. So I kind of dig this. And to your point, at 6:22, it does go on a little too long. I do really like Paul's. When he's doing the chorus. What's that you're doing, girl? I like what you do to me. I mean, that stuff. I really like that. I like the vocal effects on that.
Oh, and he's killer screaming,
Yeah, exactly.
And shout, all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. So, but unfortunately, again, it kind of like, you got somebody who cares, and then all of a sudden you just got this crazy.
And then you come out of this, and then you go into Here Today, and it's like, whoa, like maybe this track would have been better on side 2.
Yeah, maybe. It's almost like if the track "It's Not On" was in somewhere in on Pipes of Peace, and it just kind of almost.
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of almost, as great as "It's Not On" is, it's just doesn't fit the pace of that album. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't think it would have sat nicely along like "Hey Hey" or "Tug of Peace"?
No.
No. Okay.
No. But altogether, I'm glad that they actually collaborated on
absolutely
something.
Like that's and it's a good. You look at this song on its own and not in a Tug of War context. It's a great song.
Right.
It's just it just I think it's a little bit too long and it's too soon in the album. It needs to be that needs to be like middle of side 2, second track after the track 1, something like that. Right. And then I think it probably wouldn't have been as like whoa like. I mean, and again, it could have been shaved off a minute or 2.
Exactly.
Tom Brennan says, "What's That You're Doing" should have been on Pipes of Peace with tracks like "Hey Hey." Well, then you would have had 2 two of them. You would have had Stevie and Michael. Imagine
right.
that, having the two of them on one record. He broke it up.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if I would have liked that idea much, because you get two Paul and Michael songs on Pipes of Peace.
And of course we spoke to our friend the Queen, Kid O'Toole, some months ago, and we did an episode on the Michael Jackson stuff. But one of the things Paul kind of the 80s aspect that people really love to just crucify him on is just like doing these kind of duets with the mega stars of the day, the Michael Jacksons, the Stevie Wonders, because he was over the hill. He was 40 years old, and people were just like, well, he's just going to just sell himself out with the stars of the day. I don't think that's really fair.
Plus, I think he's also trying to reach to a larger audience too. Working with the Stevie and a Michael Jackson too. But what
we got the Queen. The Queen's on. The Queen goes, "It's not on. Is great. Off with your heads." Gone.
I'm sorry, Queen. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Please delete that message.
We love you, Queen, and thank you for being here tonight.
Right.
Kid. Really, I know Kid is so busy. She does so much great stuff, teaching virtually at Monmouth University, which is from my original hometown. So, and sign up for her classes. She does some great work through them, and she's got great articles out there. Always check her out, Kid O'Toole. Christian says, "Did they sing 'She Loves You'?" Yeah. They sing that at the outro of this track, won't they?
I don't recall hearing that.
Loves you, yeah. They shout it. They shout it a little bit. As I seem to hear it. Susan asks for some reason MPL doesn't own any publishing rights for What's That You're Doing. It won't revert until 2022. Wow.
Interesting. I have to look into that.
Wonder why. Maybe Kid can. She said that's okay. I forgive you. All right. Moving on to my number 9.
What's your 9?
My number 9 is, and we'll kind of give everybody a little bit of we like to do this every once in a while. Here's my number 9. Dress Me Up as a Robber is my 9. Which Joe Mayo, I don't he was worried that this was going to be my number 1. It's not, Joe. It's not, okay? It's at number 9. I don't know why he thought I would have this as number 1. Me and Joe,
because you two differ so much.
Me and Joe do a little bit of this, but come on, Joe. I love you, Joe. I would never. Come on, a Tug of War. This would not be. Listen, if somebody has this as their number 1.
Right.
God bless. Yeah. If that's what you like. Weird track. Kind of all over the place. Falsettos through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which he's done. Kind of like the demos that we got of this, better than
on the archive.
Than this polished version. Yeah. Nice kind of. I like the guitar work here.
Oh yeah, really cool. Yeah, and that's Paul doing the Spanish guitar too.
That's great, man. I mean that alone right there makes this track great. But again, on an album so great of great tracks, we got to put it somewhere. So that is why that's my number 9. Number 8 for you.
Okay, number 8 for me is the title track, "Tug of War."
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, listen.
All right, I gotta settle in for this one.
My biggest beef, as much as I love Linda on backing vocals, the backing vocals on this song, I just don't like. I don't like the pushing, the pulling. I just don't like any of the backing vocals on this track for some reason. Now his vocals are excellent on this, and the instrumentation is really good.
People are shocked. Kit is shocked. Bill Leary is shocked. I'm shocked too. This is your number 8.
Yeah.
Damn,
this
Tom.
is my number 8.
Oh, it's all just because of the Linda vocals put this one all the way down to 8 for you?
And then I don't like the sound. I don't like the sound effects before it.
So he's trying to set the mood here.
So what? I don't care. I don't hate the song. It's just where
you have it at 8. So you don't love it.
So there's 7 other songs that I like more. It's not a big deal. It's not.
No, but I just, I thought you would have had it, a little bit higher.
Okay. I'm sure Paul wishes he was a little bit higher too.
Bill Leary, Rolling Stone called Tug of War Paul's Imagine. Interesting comparison.
Yeah.
Interesting comparison. Yeah. Tom Lavrani says number 8. Tom, Hudson's like, wow. Susan says double wow. Yeah. You got people going with that one. You got people going with that one. Tom Brennan has it as number 4.
And that's fine. It's a deservingly so. It's fine. It's a great track. It's just some parts of it annoy me.
Hey, Bulldog Andy, it's Tom's list, not yours. Yeah, I know, Bulldog. And your point being what?
All right, Jersey boy.
I don't, we're talking here.
Yeah, we're talking. Okay, go ahead. Number 8 for you.
8 for me. Ebony and Ivory. Ebony and Ivory. Adam, that is your shout out. How are you, my friend? Ebony and Ivory. Like I said, we kind of talked about it when Tom had it at his, I think it was 10 for Tom, I think, or 11.
Yep, 10.
I never really kind of got all the Ebony and Ivory hate. I like the playing on it. I've always again, I like the production of it too, and the sentiment too. He can put them anywhere he wants. Yes, he can, and I can put them anywhere I want.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a rookie on here tonight. All right, go.
Right, we had 7. Okay, I got "Dress Me Up as a Robber" is my number 7. Like this. I love his falsetto. I love the Spanish guitar playing. The only part I don't like is that. That's the only part I really don't care about this track. I love the kind of Bee Gees style, guitar playing, and I really consider this probably like a lost Bee Gees song because
that's awesome, and that is an awesome analogy.
And I can also see Barry Gibb singing this song, and when that Arta McCartney tribute to Paul came out several years ago, instead of doing, I think he did, what did Barry Gibb do? The Vera, Chuck and Dave song, what I'm talking about, When I'm 64.
And
I wish he would have done this, "Dress Me Up as a Robber," because he's just got that great, high falsetto singing voice. And Paul's is just as good, but I think that would have been great for Barry.
That would have really been a perfect one for him to do for sure.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I like, doesn't really matter, there's just so much. I think this, it doesn't make a difference what you want to do, whichever way you look at it. I'm still in love with you. We can go on forever. I do like the lyrics on here. I like the lyrics on a lot of these songs, but I think there's a lot to like, and I think people kind of rank this one a little bit lower, and I wish people would just kind of listen to this with an open mind, a little bit more.
I mean, very different kind of Paul track for sure.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And and you got Paul on the Spanish guitar on that one, right? Kind of thing, and then our friend Dave Maddox played on this track as well. So.
That's right. And Dave Maddox, who we interviewed, was on this track. So excellent drum work on this track for sure.
Yep.
That's a great observation there, Thomas. Yeah. I'm gonna hear that song and think Barry Gibb every time I hear it.
There you go. All right, that's my 7.
Number 7 for me, Big BD, Ballroom Dancing. Yeah. Ballroom Dancing again. A couple tracks on here obviously found their way onto Broad Street, this being one of them. And again, earlier childhood memories when I think of this song, I think of Broad Street just because I'm of that age. Right. But again, a great song. Was a Wings song. You could hear Wings rehearsing it there in, I believe, October of 1980. I don't know if I have my dates right, but a couple of these songs he rehearsed like hell with that last version of Wings, Take It Away,
right?
Rain Clouds, Ballroom Dancing, a couple of them. So, great song, very Beatley.
Yeah, I think so.
Lots of stuff in it, kind of the middle section, which is all cool. So, it's let's see. Music Sound Gear. First time I'm watching your podcast live, I'll probably blow a gasket at your rankings. That's Music Sound Gear.
That's great.
Welcome. Just don't blow a gasket, for real. Disagree. But don't really. It's just music.
Yes, exactly. We all disagree here, and we all still get along, my friend.
We're not reinventing the wheel here. I like the big beady. It's just a real,
yeah.
it's a lot. There's a lot of stuff in that song. Again, it's almost like a kind of an Uncle Albert, Albert Halsey part two, a little bit
Right.
going on with that
Maybe.
song.
Yeah, maybe.
Which Serge asked, which version? Ballroom? Which version of Ballroom? Tug of War or Broad Street? I'd probably go Tug of War version, I think.
Yeah, I think I would too.
But I won't. That answer will change for another track on this album. But that's
Yeah.
later.
I do dig the ballroom dancing though scene in Broad Street though.
Yeah. It starts out the China Cup. They
Right.
put thing on and wave the sword. Yeah.
Right.
Susan says she loves her big ballroom dancing. It's her number 4. Wow.
She loves her big BD. Anyways,
number 6 for you.
Okay, number 6 for me. Now the rest of these songs I absolutely adore, love, cherish.
Could have flip-flopped anyway.
Well, number 2 and 1 are always going to be 2 and 1 for me, but I'm going with Somebody Who Cares as my number 6. Again, just I think it's a really cool song. I'm Here For You kind of the songs. I really dig like this and Too Much Rain. I kind of dig when he's like talking to you and saying, hey, it's
gonna be all right.
I feel you,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's gonna be okay. And musically, I think it's like another Spanish guitar, on this one too, and by Paul. And we got to mention, Eric Stewart. This is his first appearance on a McCartney record.
Yeah.
His backing vocals are really strong on this.
And this might have been one of those tracks done at Strawberry Studios.
I have to look that up.
Some work, I was looking at the box set today. Some tracks were done at
Strawberry.
Since this is Eric's first track, as you mentioned.
Well, actually, it's not his first track on the album.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I dig it. I dig the softness of it, the mellowness of it, and then you got to mention the Stanley Clarke and Steve Gadd too, two brilliant musicians that are on this album, and two guys that don't get enough credit, so I really dig this one. I Know How You Feel.
I Know How You Feel.
Yeah.
Again, a good song that just kind of, like you said, kind of gives a nice meaning of empathy.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like Too Much Rain. Who cares?
Right.
It's like that. I dig that.
He's good at that. Good choice. I have mine coming up also, but not quite yet. Number 6 for me. The pound is sinking. The peso's falling.
Yes.
The lira is reeling and feeling quite appalling.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, lots of stuff going on in that song. Again, classic. This was 2 songs that kind of became one. This was Hear Me Lover, and then also The Pound is Sinking, which he made into one song, of course, which is just typical of McCartney fashion. He takes 2 songs and throws them together. This time it works really well. The it didn't happen part at the end of this, probably like probably one of the last times he got to that kind of a level,
right,
of a vocal level on one of his records. Right. And if you want to kind of get really deep about it, on some level, is he kind of talking about Lennon's, death at that a little bit? I've heard people make that observation about this song too.
Interesting.
And it's, when you think about it that way, on some kind of subconscious level, maybe he was. I don't know, but man, it's The Pound is Sinking is just such an underrated track. Again, any one of these could have really flip-flopped into anywhere. Once again, it gets the whole British thing going. Well, I feel my dear, all that stuff is pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. And that's one of my favorite parts of the song. And if we're moving along, then this is my number 5. This is my number 5 is The Pound is Sinking. And
okay, so carry on.
Yeah. And I dig it lyrically. The two songs, work together. I think they work together well. I like that we get the 2 separate on the archive set. So that's really cool. I dig the, Fear My Dear, that it's eminently clear that you can't see the trees from the forest. I dig a lot of this, song, and I think I like that part, and I think I like the "Hear Me Lover" part, maybe just a little bit more than the "Pound is Sinking"
You like the "Hear
part.
Me Lover" part
Yeah,
better?
just because again, like the vocally, I mean, it starts off smooth, and then he just takes it to a whole nother level, with that that roughness that you don't that we got with like maybe something like Lucille or
Yeah.
I'm Down or Old Darling or something like that, So Monkberry Moon Delight,
Yeah, oh, of course.
yeah,
Yeah. So
so
that was you.
again,
Yeah.
yeah, so this is my number 5, and again, I really dig it, yeah.
Okay. Number 5 for me, Tom mentioned a song or two ago, "Somebody Who Cares," which also was, if you've read the books and the history, it's actually the one that his son James liked the most. And when making the album, was the one that he instantly hummed, which had
Okay.
all those songs. He was like, because he said that his son really liked that song the most.
Okay.
Yeah, I know how you feel. It's just that I've always kind of that line that has taken the wheels off your car and you've had
Right.
someplace to go.
Right.
It's like so literal,
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
but again, it's so bright and uplifting, right? There's always there's somebody, and then it kind of it's a very bright track, and it's guaranteed to kind of lift your spirits if you've had a kind of crummy day.
Absolutely.
That's why I've always enjoyed that track. So
Yeah.
that's my number 5.
All right.
We catch up on
Catch
some
up on
comments here.
comments there.
Yep. Paul was watching the financial news when he wrote "The Pound is Sinking." Yeah. Yes, he was. Hey, well, yeah, those were on bootlegs for a year. Hear me? Yes, they were on a very famous one called "War and Peace," actually from back in the day. It was on that bootleg as well. Queen says, for some reason, "The Pound is Sinking" is probably the one Tug of War song that she's never really connected with. Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Fair enough.
Okay,
Fair
we're
enough.
caught up. You're
Okay.
up there for number
4.
4.
I adore the Big BD myself. Again, I mean, for all the reasons that you said, Paul loves this kind of vaudeville style. If you
Lives
showy
for that.
kind of songs.
Yeah,
And
gotta
I
sing,
just.
gotta dance.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And we got a request to do a
Oh,
show on that as well.
that's right.
Oliver,
Yeah,
yes. So
Oliver
we'll
wants
do
us
that.
to.
We'll do
Oh,
that soon. We'll do that soon. So yeah, ballroom dancing is
ballroom
great.
dancing.
All the instrumentation, the orchestration on that, I really dig. And like you said, the darn it, the guitar playing on that is pretty smooth. Yeah, I mean, it's you can go on and on about the track. It's really good. I mean, it's kind of like a little weird. Will used to smile when I was a pup sailing down the Nile in a China cup. It's just kind
It's
of
lyrically,
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
ton of lyrics in this song. It's
yeah.
yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah, it is all over the place, and I dig it. There's times where that kind of stuff works, and I think it works here on this track.
Yeah. Kid says, "I see what you did there, Andy." What did I do? I don't know.
I don't know, but you did something, and she saw it.
Okay. Hopefully it was good, kid. Because if it's not, just make the order.
Right.
Like they do on The Crown. Just do it. Susan says, "Kid, I didn't care for Pound when the album first came out, but it's grown on me over the years too." Yeah. So yeah, lots of stuff could be like that. So so big ballroom dancing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I will admit some tracks over the years will eventually grow on you. For whatever reason, it just clicks for you, and then all of a sudden, it's just you're a huge fan, of that song. Okay.
Gotta
What
sing,
did she
gotta
say?
dance.
Oh, gotta sing,
Gotta sing, gotta dance.
Okay.
Don't call me a stick in the mud, though, please. It's certainly not true.
All right, 4 for you, buddy.
Here today.
Ah, okay.
Which I'm going to assume you probably have that a little higher. We'll see.
Just maybe.
What can you say about Here Today? I think one of the things about it is I wish I played it live a lot sooner than 2002. Okay. I mean, now it's been a staple in his set list since he came back touring in 2002. I mean, it's been played every time. Anybody who's seen Paul McCartney, Tom's seen him multiple times. I've seen him 7 or 8 times. He plays this all the time.
Yeah.
And listen, I think live it loses a little bit because he plays it so much that I think he kind of hams it up a little bit personally with the drama, with the effect.
Maybe.
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say that he's not. Obviously, sometimes when he plays it, he obviously does probably feel moved. But I mean, such a great song on the record. The George Martin orchestration on it. What can you say about it?
Yeah.
very, very carefully placed at the end of side 1 too. Because where do you put an album? Where do you put a track that's so important like this? You know,
right?
You got Ballroom Dancing opens up side 2, which is good for that. But as you're talking about, like, what's that you're doing? 6.5 minutes of like funk, and then a song about John Lennon.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's 2.5 minutes. There's been so much talked about here today that it doesn't really. We're not going to do it any justice here. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful song, and it's heartfelt, and it's the one that he obviously meant to, write. And listen, it doesn't get much more honest than that. And it's as good as it's much of a tribute that you're going to actually get from McCartney about Lennon, and he did it beautifully here, and that's why it's number 4 for me.
Yeah, I mean, the song is not a drag. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. Bill Leary says the Amoeba Records version was very touching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think you hear him choke up on that one.
Yes, you do. And I saw him. I saw him at I was going to call it Shea Stadium, City Field in 2009. And I was pretty close. He legit did. I mean, I don't think it was like a hammed up thing.
Right.
I definitely was. I was pretty close to the stage, and everybody was pretty visibly moved at that moment of the show when he sang that. So
yeah. Well, my number 3 is here today. So yeah, I had it
carry on.
And exactly. Sung very well. I like the about the the what about the time we met. And then he you get that echo effect on there, almost like kind of like what you would get with like a Lennon McCartney song, almost like sometimes the counter.
Yep.
But in a way, I'm kind of glad that he didn't release it as a single, but I kind of do wish he released it as a single. You know what I mean?
Well, you bring up a good point that somebody in the chat made. Christian said he thought Here Today should have been the 3rd single.
Well, not only could have been a 3rd single, I think it could have been released. I think this song was ready in 81. This song, I think, could have been released in 81 instead of, that first year where we didn't get any McCartney release whatsoever, throughout his whole
career, up until 62.
Career.
Up
until 62.
Really.
Yeah. So, I think it kind of would have been cool to have seen this as a single, but then you would have got, didn't Empty Garden come out before that, I think?
Oh, 82. Okay. 82 on the Jump Up album.
Yeah, so this would have came out right after all those years ago then, probably.
Right, because you had the early 82, 83, you had the flurry of the tributes starting to come out. You know, the late, Paul Simon's, the late, great Johnny Ace, Empty Garden. They didn't come out. 81, really, you just had all those years ago.
Right.
Queen had Song for Lennon, which I think was on Hot Space.
Wasn't that 82, 83, I think?
Might have been 83. Yeah. So, it wasn't really like George's was the first one, really. Paula Mescal says, you and GB, Andy. That's right. Yeah. That's somebody I was at the show with. Yeah.
In the last part, if I say I really loved you and glad you came along, you just hear that and how can you not break down when, if you're Paul singing this, how can you not break down when you sing that line? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I do think there is a little element of that. He's like just on autopilot when he sings this song now. You can't just play it every single night. I mean, he just probably just goes through the motions.
Yeah, I would like to see him get rid of this and do a different tribute to John, and maybe the song that he picked on his Desert Island,
Beautiful
Boy. I would love to hear him do that song.
Yeah. I've been, again, we're talking in like fantasy world because Paul McCartney tours like everything else.
Yeah, I know, right?
Who knows? But
right.
Listen, it's so you had it at 3. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3 for me is Take It Away. I knew he was going to get so pissed off with that. Yeah, you're going to pull at me with Waterfalls, right? I know because I know where, because I actually saw your list last week, so I know where this is. I know where this is on your list, and I knew that's where it was going to be.
Yeah.
I know that Dylan Seavey will not be happy with you either.
Oh well.
But no, take it away from me. I really hemmed and hawed about these first. My top 3, they could have gone anyway. They really could.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Again, was going to be a Wing song. They worked the hell out of it. The video, again, we always talk about the videos because this was the beginning of the video age. It was classic, and it was Tom's first foray into the, but I mean, such a great song. Sad it was never done live. This one should have been done live.
Please.
This one should have done live.
He should in the '89 tour. He should have showed a little bit more love to his '80s career or '80s
like,
output.
Take it away.
Normal Lonely Nights. Even some like Spies Like Us.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have mind.
Right, but really
just show your '80s output a little bit more love.
Right, yeah, just a little bit, and he didn't. Yeah. He didn't. But Take It Away. I mean, it's just everything about it. It's basically the story of the Beatles in song.
Right.
And the video. The man, John Hurt.
Right.
Who was just, I think, fresh off playing. I think
the Elephant Man.
Right, wasn't fresh, but he was the Elephant Man.
Yep.
He plays the Brian Epstein. In the video, and goes there and sees the band playing with George Martin and Ringo and Eric Stewart and I mean it's just everything about that song is phenomenal. Susan has it as her number 2. Take It Away. I also like the edit where you kind of hear it clean opening without the Tug of War link.
Yes,
that version's pretty cool too. You just hear a nice clean opening of Take It Away with the bass.
Right.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh man. That's a song I could never ever get tired of listening to. And I know my partner probably feels the same way, even stronger than me about it. Linda's vocals on it, never know who may be listening to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it is phenomenal in every way. Serge's harmonies are amazing. Absolutely.
Harmonies are amazing on that track. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So that's my number 3. So take it away.
Thank you. Number 2, this is a case where you can have a favorite song and a song that is the best song on the album. So for me, I think the best song on the album is by far Wanderlust, which is my number 2. I think it's the most Beatles sounding song he may have done throughout his whole solo career, in that kind of For No One, Eleanor Rigby style of song. I like the fact that, I think Ringo's on this one as well. I wish he would sing more about his life, even if it's drug related or not drug related, which this song is drug related.
Well, it's just a minor offense there in the Virgin Islands.
True, but it's cool that he wrote it, and I think because he doesn't really bring us into his life, even though this is, like you said, it's kind of like a minor thing. I think this was done during the London Town sessions. 77, right. So, but I think this is one of his best vocal performances throughout his entire career. I think this was, George Martin's, his work on the song with the, the instrumentation and whatnot. Or if he did the arrangement, I think everything about this, the, backing vocals, Ringo's drums, I think are excellent.
Is it Ringo or is it?
Yeah, it is Ringo. It's Ringo that says on here.
Okay.
Yeah, it says here.
I would have thought that was Steve Gadd.
Yeah, but it says Ringo on there. But I think it's a perfect song in my opinion, and again, this is one of the ones that I wish.
It's not Ringo. I didn't.
I have Ringo on here. This one says Ringo.
Well, this one says Adrian Shepherd, drums and percussion.
Yeah, but it also says Ringo. It doesn't have Ringo on there at all.
No,
this is the archive release, too. Right. Is that the archive release?
No, this is the original EMI.
Okay.
Pressing.
Yeah, I got Ringo Ringo on here with Adrian Shepherd. So,
maybe they corrected that one. Well, we could ask Dave Maddox. Maybe he remembers.
Yeah. Maybe. But I think this is a perfect song, and it's a case where it's the best song on the record. But however, it's not my favorite.
It's not your favorite. All right. This song is my number 2, taking it into the number 2. It's I was flipping back and forth, making it number 1. Right. Ringo or Steve Gadd on Wanderlust. Well, we're just talking about that. Tom says in the archive, which is in my other room, Ringo's credited, but on the Adrian Shepherd is credited on here.
Well, Shepherd's on here as well, credited on here as well, but it's got Ringo on there also. So
I never sounded like a Ringo song. Drumming on it, personally, to my ears. Listening to it, maybe they corrected it, but it's on the archive. Somebody said it should have been on It should have been on London Town. Imagine that, and Waterspout and
Oh,
Wanderlust on
forget
London
about it.
Town. Literally.
Yeah.
Wanderlust is, man, that's talk about early memories of great McCartney music. Knowing a good song when you hear it, it's like, man, this could be like on Abbey Road. It's that good. You've got the end of it too. You've got the counter melody stuff going on. You know, where did I? You know, and then you hear, and then you hear the other part of it come back. You know, what better time to find a brand new day? A Wanderlust away. I mean, it is like otherworldly good. It's probably.
I think this is just as good as any Beatles song, in my opinion.
Fact. Yeah. Fact. Yeah. It's not an opinion. I think most musically minded people would agree with you. Bulldog says, you mean Water Sprout? Yeah, that's you, Tom. Water Sprout.
I know, right?
And again, he loved it so much he revisited it for Broad Street, which is another point. Like I enjoy the Broad Street version just as much, maybe even slightly more. I kind of go back and forth with that. I mean, only because we get video footage of seeing him sing Wanderlust, and where else doesn't exist anywhere else.
Exactly.
You know? Right. And obviously, you know, we're only talking, I mean, Broad Street wraps up filming in October of '83. So on the heels of this,
very busy
on the heels of this record. So he was gonna be, you know, not be totally foreign with it. Man, but you got the Philip Jones Brass Ensemble, who we used lots of times on this record. They're also in the Broad Street film. So Bill Leary says the best part of that movie. Totally agree. The medley at the beginning of the movie is the best part. It is. But the Philip Jones Brass Ensemble do a great work. Great brass on this, takes you out on a high note. And again, it's about a pot bust, you know. But you know, what petty crime did I found guilty of?
Exactly.
Yeah. Adam asks, are we going to rank Broad Street? We are going to rank Broad Street in 2 weeks time. In 2 weeks time. So. So that's I think Tom and I both feel the same way on Wanderlust.
Great track.
Let's hear it, brother.
All right, you know it. Number one for me is "Take It Away." It'll always be "Take It Away." "Take It Away" for me is always going to be a top 5 McCartney song for me. I do like how it weaves into at the end of Tug of War. I love the best part one of the best parts for me is the beginning drums between Ringo and Steve Gadd, you know, and I dig when you get to see them in the video. You know, I love seeing them the drum kits together and them, you know, going at it. But again, I love this opening vocals from Paul. I love the piano by George Martin there. I mean, you know, good stuff. I mean, I think it's just again another perfect song on this album. Very upbeat, very energetic. Like you said, it tells a story. You know, you never know who may be listening to you. I really dig that. I love all the verses. I love the chorus. I love his perfect.
Yeah, perfect. You know, perfect in every way. I mean, it really is. Bulldog, Pipes and Priest was released in October of '83. Yes, it was. I was talking about the filming of Broad Street, which also wrapped up around that same time. And the kid loves you. She loves your choice, the Queen.
Yeah.
The Queen approves.
Oh, wow. Whew. The head gets to stay on the neck for another day.
Yeah, it really is the perfect pop single.
Yeah, there you go. Again, I think this is just as good as any Beatles song as well, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, and you've got when you've got George Martin, you've got Ringo, and they're trying to like do a little bit of how could it not?
And the ahs at the end is very reminiscent of "I'm Not in Love" by 10cc. You know.
Yes.
So.
I mean, and you hear that, you're like, wow, that sounds like a 10cc song. Well,
exactly.
There's a reason for that, because the guy is on the song.
Yeah. And you get that. You also, you know, another song that you get that on the end of too is Billy Joel's "Just the Way You Are." You get that same, you know, effect on that as well.
You do.
So, but you know, the horns going on at the same time as that. You know, it's just it kicks ass.
Oh, it really does. Probably Christian says probably his best '80s single. "Take It Away."
Well, it would be between that and No More Lonely Nights for me. Yeah.
Agreed with that. And then just a great chord change. Boom right here. What?
Maybe
What's this now?
It's reminiscent. It's reminiscent to "Love Doesn't Come in a Minute."
Yes, it's very reminiscent to that. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, man.
That's not Bulldog says. It's not always a great formula. Paul, George, Ringo, George Martin, i.e. Pipes of Peace. Well, you'll have to watch next week because you'll be surprised for some of those rankings too.
Yeah.
It's not on. And the Faded Flowers. I mean, the video.
Faded Flowers.
And one of our viewers that watches this, I think, could have gone to the filming of this because if you were a ticket Wings member of the Wings, James, you could have, he had a ticket to go to the filming of this.
If you were a member of the Club Sandwich, right? If you're a subscriber to Club Sandwich or a member of the fan club, you had an opportunity to go to the video shooting. Yep.
Yeah, you could have. Oh man, that's a regret. But man, I can't fault you for that number one, brother.
I just get chills listening to it. I mean, it's perfect.
It is. And it never got on. Yeah, exactly. Well, until 2015 it did.
Right.
Oh, man. So, number one for me, no surprise, is the title track.
Wow.
Is the title track.
Wow.
Which, Susan says, I think we can agree this is all one great album. Yeah, brother, I'm surprised. I thought you were going to have this a little higher, but I respect your reasons why you had it. I really do. For me, this one, and I understand you talking about the whole, like, the sound effects and the stuff. That could be a little bit, grating, I guess, on the ears a little bit, a little of some of that pushing and pulling and all that stuff.
Right.
But everything else about the record, this could have been on side 2 of Abbey Road. And again, this is as good as any Beatles song. Okay. Any Beatles song. Yeah. Any Beatles song. The drums in this. Yeah. I mean, for me, when the song kicks up, when it really kind of just comes out of the intro and it goes in years to come.
Yeah.
Catch on comments here. Yeah. The single version of Tug of War. That's a good one too. Mm-hmm. Mark Lewis was at the taping of the video and said Ringo was drunk. Take it away.
Surprise.
Yeah. But right here, this part of the song, in years to come. Boom.
Yeah. No, great part. Yeah.
And it's a very prophetic line too, Very thought-provoking. There it is. But it won't be soon enough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear this song, you're looking at the album cover, you're taking it in, you're like, whoa, this is going to be a very, and then again, you hear the strings, and you know that that's George doing his Beatle thing,
right?
And I guess in light of the whole of Lennon, maybe that's why it's more of a sentimental favorite.
Okay. Understood. Yeah, good stuff.
Oh,
listen, George Martin really shines on this record as well.
Yeah,
not just Paul.
You got George the military. Martin. You got the military snare drum going on here a little bit. Music Sound Gear says good ranking. All gaskets are intact. We're very happy to hear that.
And this is an okay video as well. I mean, I don't think it's a bad video.
Yeah. Question: does the cast do live streams, or is it just a cast of full vids? Is the cast of live stream, or live streams are just when we rank the tracks?
Yeah.
That's all.
For the most part.
And our regular episodes on Saturdays are usually just Tom and I or with a guest on a pre-recorded topic. But with the lives are just the albums. But yeah, that's Tug of War ranked.
Yeah.
We were looking forward to this one. But it won't be soon. It's a good way to go out going into next week. Good night, Maniacs. Yes, because we have a doozy next week, which is probably gonna turn some heads when we rank that sucker. You know it.
We got it right there. Pipes of Peace.
Come on. Well, I'm going to shock some people with this one. I know it.
Really?
Oh, I know it.
Where do you got Dustbin Lid at?
Pretty high. Pretty high. Just kidding. Yeah. So yeah, no, listen, it's always a good fun. Listen, you never need an excuse to revisit Tug of War.
Oh, absolutely not. No, I had a great time. No, I put the record on earlier today. I was, so I listened to it quite a bit over last week, and glad I did. Glad I did.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Bill Leary, thank you. Great show, guys. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for being here, my friend.
Where's Broad Street on CD? Adam wants to know. Right here. Here you go. Right there. One good song, easy ranking for me. Oh, he's talking about Pipes of Peace. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I'll try one. Step right up.
Right up. Yep. Right. Yep.
Mac and Jack Wonder Potion. Oh, yeah. Oh, we'll have a blast with that one.
Oh, we're gonna have a great time with this one. Absolutely. Let me tell you, I'll tell you this. Were you born in 83?
No.
Okay. I said this either on any video outlet, whether it was MTV or those, hour or half-hour video shows that were on regular TV and on the radio. This song was like on the hour, every hour. You either saw this or heard this video, or heard it on the radio, or saw this video on TV. It was nonstop. This was a machine.
Yeah, it was. Oh, comment here, Serge. Rain Clouds and I'll Give You a Ring should be on this record. Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
I would take Get It. I would take that off, and I would put I'll Give You a Ring. I think I'll Give You a Ring fits the album more than Rain Clouds does.
This was fun. Glad I took a break from preparing for the Motown class. Thank you, Kid, for popping in here. Kid O'Toole, and check her out on Facebook. She teaches a great class at Monmouth on Motown and other classes. So check her out for that. But thank you for popping in. And
thank you, Queen.
Next week for MJ. That's right up your alley, Kid. Yep. So that'll be a great one. So yeah, the pieces of pipes, as you like to say. Next week.
Or Tug of Peace, right?
Tug of Peace. Yeah. No, all your trouble cease when you learn to play the pipes of peace.
Right.
Do they?
Yeah.
We'll see.
We shall see. But yeah, I had a great time. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, everybody.
If you're new and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to our channel. We'd really appreciate it. We're getting really close to 450, and we'd like to try to get to 500 here soon. And just keep them coming. So thank you again. Check us out. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Two Legs Podcast. You can email us at twolegspodcast@gmail.com. Anything else before we sign off, Andy?
Not much. You said it all, brother. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next